Hi everyone, it's Bitcoin from the Big Chubowski. I'm already recording this first compilation from the second round because the first one I got was an auto deploy, which is not super interesting. I can actually show you one fight from that against Lord Vader that I thought might be interesting, though you may have already picked up on how he gets countered. But yeah, pretty boring auto deploy here, so I didn't bother making any other recording of it. But there he is, Lord Vader with Malak and Kylo Ren unmasked. I'll just show you how that fight went. And it's a pretty straightforward one actually, where you just have Kylo Ren unmasked as the tank. It's not necessary, I've heard from people that you can do it without him. But the difference there is that your Watt will probably die because he's going to get targeted a fair bit. So you might end with a little bit less banners, but I think that's for most people probably worth the trade, because Kylo Ren unmasked is still a good character, and I'm not quite sure if many other tanks would survive as well, because he is so resistant to the dots in general and to various different things. Obviously you have the tank tech to cleanse that, so maybe some other very high relic tank would do the same job. I don't really know, I haven't seen enough testing footage or anything like that to say much about it, but this works quite well. You just wait long enough to build up, and after the ultimate doing 3 AoEs and then pretty much stab him out at the end. Not too difficult. So moving on into the second round here against a guy called Nerf Herder from the guild Kraken's Revenge, 820k lifetime. Has an executor but seems to be climbing with soft counters, which I can't blame him for. The executors is so ridiculous. He has 5 Galactic Legends, all with ultimates, and strangely enough does not have Cat up here yet, and I think he actually only recently unlocked her because she's at gear 11, but I decided to not be a bit of a unfriendly person by putting JMK Cat on defense, which I could have done, but I don't really like playing like that in the very first round against someone. So he has not attacked yet to my knowledge. There we go. So I can show you my defense. I've got over here Huck's First Order team, Nest Heroes, CLS with the 3POs. Put Padme on defense this time. I've got a Grievous team as well. So just kind of standard but strong teams. Then down here, Darth Revan, standard, I guess JKL as well. The Nute team is pretty strong, and then Gas. So all around, no weak teams in the front walls. Which kind of makes him wonder, like, how many GLs are you going to have in the back, or are there going to be any at all? And in this case I do have Rey in the back here, and then just some banner stealing teams essentially, which doesn't matter as much in 3v3 if you can make them drop like 3 banners across 8 different teams. That does add up to what you would get from a loss, essentially being 20 banners, and then maybe a bit lower from having to use a weak team to clean up. But yeah, that's essentially what I've gone with. And then Executor on defense here, together with Executrix. Now, in my first round I was not able to get any feats done, because in the back wall there were no characters that I could leave alone, like sort of behind at low health or anything that would not threaten to wipe me out. Because they were all like still like Relic 7s, Relic 8s, etc., like Arc Trooper or Echo, those kind of things. So I can't really send my Gear 12 Rogue One team on something like that. It really does need to be against an actual player for me, or I just can't get the feat done, so I might not get those done at all. On his defense, I think like it looks like he has a pretty similar strategy where he sets pretty decent teams in the front here, though plenty of them I do have soft counters for, whereas he does not. And then over here, kind of the same story. They're all good teams, but need to know how to beat them. So I want to start the round off with beating Padme here, and I was actually thinking of like I planned it out briefly, and it seems to make most sense for me to use my 1 GL in the front here, save the others for the back or the top zone. And apparently JML, who I frequently trash talk in 3v3, can solo a Padme team with a 100% success rate across several seasons, which I was quite surprised about, because he typically does a very poor job in various places, but yeah, seems to do pretty good here, so let's give that a shot and see what he can do. Obviously he ignores taunt, so you can just kind of keep stalking Jedi Knight Anakin. And now here, instead of getting cleansed I'll do that. And then this should probably kill. Well, it should kill, but it didn't. But then this one does. So I guess his ability to circumvent the taunt and to push back Padme there is very convenient. And you can just leave GK until the very last. No point in wasting my F-Lux there on the foresight. But I guess she's always gonna have that, so I need to outrun them essentially and get every other hit in. Okay, let's do this. Just kind of want to keep delaying her so that she doesn't get a heal in. And I think I'm about there. So that's a pretty good use of a GL that's typically like, I'm using him because he would be worth the least to me in the back wall no matter what Galactic Legends he sets. If they have SLK for example, I still can use some other combination to take him down. Whereas most of his GLs, JML wouldn't do as much. If he has SCE for example, not useful. Ray, not really useful for me either, because I don't have JKL. So that seemed like a good spend. So his Relic 7 Darth Revan here has 340 speed, decently durable, Bastilla Fallen also at 5, and then Malak at 6. And 80k health, so that's a pretty good chunk, but I should be able to get through it, I hope. If not, I've got fun cleanup ahead. So Veers, Piet and Dark will have to do the job. I have the modding for it, you can't just do this with any team like this, because there's a decent chance you'll fail then. So Mark on Dark. Okay, gonna do a basic here to clear the foresight. Now do a group attack. And then the extra hit should kill her. There we go. So my Veers got marked there because he, got feared there because he always crits on that hit due to the high crit chance. And now hopefully I can get Malak low enough. He just gets the one drain off on Dark, which is okay. Then I try and get the kill here, which I did. And I'm just barely ahead of Darth Revan here. Unfortunately, the one side note here is that you can't call assists, otherwise Darth Revan would be pretty dead here. But that's why I'm gonna take a hit. Potentially lose Veers, it seems quite likely. Even considering... I mean, there's no reason not to do this here. Not gonna recover any banners there, so it's a low banner count, but it can save you some pretty tricky situations where they put a lot of GLs in the back. This is always gonna be favorable, especially in 3v3, 5 banners is not such a big deal. So against this team, people would typically in the past use Fox instead of Wampa, but because Watt's weapon tech no longer allows you to ignore armor, that doesn't really work anymore because Fox just doesn't stack fast enough to take down their team, and as a result you simply time out. So you need someone who can actually ramp up damage, and Wampa is a really nice character to do that. So that's what you can go with. The other advantage of Wampa is the AoEs, which will allow you to just pick off Rex eventually with a first skill, and once there's just one character left, you can do the 2-turn stun with Kylo Ren Unmasked, and then they can't do anything at all, even though the Rexecutes, as people call them, are not really a problem for Kylo Ren Unmasked because he doesn't really take damage from that. So that's a decent way to get through this. And it's really mostly just a waiting game. Like, you can play around, you can hit Barris, it just doesn't matter a lot. All you need is a couple stacks for Wampa to get higher, and that's when you really start making a difference. No, it looks like this is a timeout. I really thought I would be able to get through Rex, but there was a moment there in the fight where it looked like he got really low, and like that would have made the difference to make 5 sacrifice, but it still wasn't low enough, strangely enough. So it seems like this counter no longer works, or I need to work on the modding on my Wampa, but yeah, it just doesn't really look like that gets through, strangely enough. So actually, let me take a look at the modding here. See if there's anything unusual. It's a pretty high health Rex, but not so high that you'd say that does not work. Very high protection 5s. Well, he was out of protection for the entire fight, so that doesn't matter either, and nothing unusual on Barris either. So not quite sure there. Just lack damage. Maybe you need a higher relic Wampa to do it. Or worse modding on their end, but that certainly didn't work. So I'll have to spend something else here. So this might be a bit of a mistake, but I think I could blast through Rex here, and I was correct. If I would have been wrong, this would have ended very quickly with Barris healing him up. Eventually I need to get healing immunity on there with Beskar Mando, and that's when I'll be able to take him down. So what I'm doing now, it feels like it might be a bit risky. This one is a damage over time one, this one is what I need. So let's... surprising. I did not think he was gonna already get that off there. That actually doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Okay, I've got 15 whistling birds, that should do the job. Very nice. Very odd how he got that off, because it resets when you start a new fight. No clue how that ended up that way. Anyway, there goes Barris. That's a 33 cleanup. Pretty ugly. And let's take a look at his back wall to see if my concerns were warranted. I think he mostly kept stuff on offense, but let's take a look. Yep, so he went full offense, which is always a bit disappointing. But yeah, nothing you can do. Disappointing as in if you're careful in the front and then you find nothing in the back, it's like, what was I doing it for? And there's also nothing for me to rogue one. I think, yeah. Maybe if I leave zombie until the end and I kill off the others, but it's a pretty big question mark, especially now that I've already dropped a battle. I might not really want to do that. Since they're pretty decently relic, this might be a good test. So daze everyone. Can't go around taunt, so that might suck a bit, but we'll see. And this is like, it's kind of double science. It's seeing can he do this, but it's also seeing can these guys clean up Lord Vader, which might be entirely possible. We'll see. Maybe I kind of need the ult for this one to work, but we'll see. So this one can be evaded. Just gonna do this one. And now do the AoE, which can't be evaded. And my debuffs are gone just before Spy goes, so that is actually a little bit dicey there. They're getting decently low though. And while Lord Vader looks affected by the damage, he's not as affected as it might seem, because his health and protection pool is just completely ridiculous. I'll need to get a good number of stacks here for it to have a good effect. That's not too much damage, but I mean I have no debuffs, so I guess there's really only that initial period where Spy gets that one shot at a good number of debuffs, and he lost that, so that's all there is to it, I guess. So every month that I play this battle, I'm always trying to remember how exactly to do it. This is pretty much the basic logic. The fracture on Grievous at the start. Now Traya is gonna throw those sabers and they'll need to ability block Grievous. Sometimes I've had one case, I think, only where it didn't land, which is probably pretty lucky because it should happen more often. That deflect right there, that is super annoying because otherwise my Nihilus would be able to drain right now. but he can't. So that's actually quite a setback. Because he would have Annihilate ready in the next turn. Let's see if I can maybe still speed it up here. Drain Grievous again. And hopefully get a turn off before him. My Nihilus is ahead, but let's see if he can stay ahead. And actually I'm gonna get another Fracture if I want. Won't do that though, I'd rather get the stun here. Then Annihilate. And start reducing the cooldowns on Thrawn so that I can swap back to full protection quicker. And then recover banners in doing so. If I'm able to at all. So fracturing B1 is quite nice because you can burn all the stacks really quickly. Rather than B2. Was that another? Jeez, what's up with this B1? I want to see that evasion arrow. That would be the most annoying mod in the world, I think. Again on Thrawn. Nihilus is basically almost full, and he's probably gonna take a hit at some point, so I'd rather start working on Treya a little bit here. So I still got 3 minutes, which seems like if I could have the chance to recover full protection, I might as well try. But now it might look like I'll miss Nihiluses. I think it's gonna count though. Yep. So, very good banner trade, even if B2 was relicked. It would actually be easier to recover to full protection. Where Cat can give that extra swap to Cam. She boosts his offense even further than Bastilla, so maybe I can get some kind of monstrous murder hit in there. That was the plan anyway. Just gotta see how I want to deal with this. Okay, that's the first kill. Now I wanted to get an armor shred on Magna. And this one here should be the one doing the damage. So let's see what it does. 112k basic, hello. 120k. Dude, would have been good to be able to do that on Dooku, but unfortunately not an option. Ah, too bad. I'm gonna lose the buffs by the time he's out of there. And extortion might start being a serious pain here, so let's do something about it. Kiarimandi's gonna be able to do this, I think. Yeah, I really should be. There we go. Still a 53. So we're gonna clear that foresight and now immediately go all in on Rey and take her out. Put buff immunity up there. And this one's always a guessing game, like how do you dispel both buffs based on damage? Almost. Okay, but at least he wastes his turn with that special, which allows me to call Plo in to max Anakin's health banner there. Boost the TM. But yeah, I lost it on this guy anyway. Although it's back to full, I think. No, come on. You've got to be kidding me if that would have crit. Then I'd be through. Well, that's about as good as it's gonna get. Very sweet score there. So 31-51. Unfortunately, the one battle dropped and no feats done once again. So my opponent will have an interesting challenge to try to top that. He can do it, I think, but it's gonna depend a bit on if he uses his GLs well. So good luck to him, and I'll show you what he did. In the third round, I am facing Sauminator from the guild. Quebec for Sith, 896k lifetime. Has a 7-star executor that I will probably have the pleasure to face on defense. And 5 Galactic Legends. So I had a good look at his GAC history, and this guy pretty much always keeps everything for offense. But for whatever reason, similar to some recent opponents, he decided to put everything on defense. So pretty weird. He's got a JML over here, SCE with some Gear 12 tanks, SLK with Hux and Kylo Ren Mass, so not really holding back on team compositions either. And then that one, strangely enough, Ray with Holdo and Poe. So I send him a message to ask, like, you know, like, what's the deal? Just curious why people are doing this, because it makes it so difficult for them to clear and get wins and stuff. And he said he's at work and he'll get back to me later to explain. So, okay. I'm curious to hear the explanation because it just looks a bit strange. He also said Darth Revan over here and then a bunch of other decent teams. And maybe he looked at my history and figured, oh, I can stop him from clearing half my map and I'll beat his front zones. But, I mean, given that it's been a season in between of 5v5, there's absolutely no guarantee I'm just going to repeat what I was doing in the past. It doesn't really make any sense. So he got stuck on Vader, Lord Vader here with Royal Guard. Took 6 attempts, but that's just trash thrown at it probably at that point. Then failed once on the Rex Echo 5's team. That's pretty good to see. And over here, I think he struggled on one team, the Nest one, and the rest he all one-shot. So that does mean to me that he probably kept most of his other good teams for offense. But in the back there should be JMK Cat, because there's literally no way that he failed on the Vader team. And I can't imagine him sending his JMK Cat on Darth Revan or on Jedi Knight Luke. It just seems ludicrous to me. Maybe it was a misclick, that's also a possibility, I guess, but I just can't imagine it. So JMK is going to be in the back. I have 4 GLs for offense, and I do have a chance to maybe double shot the JML or the SCE, but if it fails and I fall short in teams on the top, then he could end up clearing more teams than me. And if I then also fail on his executor, we would clear the same number of teams, but I would get a similar number of fails to him. And if I then also failed his executor because he one-shot my fleets, as people do, then yeah, I would be in big trouble there. So he had no problems against my executor. I doubt that was by using his, based on the banner score, I believe. So yeah, I basically have to make a choice. I can take a chance at full clearing by multi-shotting probably JML, or I play it safe, I just clear both of the front zones and then I leave JMK Cat in the back. So those are basically the options, and I figured, well, you know, let's see what I can do. If I'm able to run one test on JML and it doesn't work, then I can still use all my Galactic Legends to clear this zone. Then I can also take some teams in the back zone, and I should be able to scrape through the top zone, hopefully. So I should be able to outbanner him in that case, but if not, then yeah, I've shot myself in the foot and he ultimately accomplished his goal. But I would really like to try to challenge myself a bit and to see this through, and if it doesn't work, then hey, it doesn't work. So the idea would be to use JKR, Gas, and Jolie on this team here, because I kept Gas just by himself. I don't know why, I had a feeling I was going to need him, so maybe this is it. And the goal is to get at least Jolie down and Hermit Yoda. If I can get Gas JML down, that's great. I'm not really counting on it, but if I can leave it to solo JML, then I can use the Rage at a Training BB-8 Vet Han team to clean it up. So this is going to be the test. If it doesn't work, I'll make my life a bit difficult in the top zone, but I think I should still be able to get through, so we'll see. Here we go. He even targets Jolie with that one. Oof, that is my savior instantly burned there. That's absolutely nuts, actually. That's their thingy burned too. I don't even know what to call it. It's not really a savior. Wow. Okay. So the AI is pretty smart there, as you can see. And yeah, I mean, gas is not going to do anything here, so that's unfortunate. If I would have split the attacks there and go for gas a little bit, who's normally the AI magnet, it's also what I was hoping for. Or if my JKR had like 5 more speed, he could have done the saber swap there and gone before them, but unfortunately not. So I can pretty much back out of this one because nothing's going to happen here other than gas dying. So what I could maybe do is see if I can play it until the F-Lux is wasted. I don't know, that might be it. But yeah, pretty brief test here. That was the F-Lux right there. It goes into ultimate. Yep. Well, that's pretty sad. Was worth a test, I guess. Now we'll have to just deal with the teams with my Galactic Legends. Unfortunately, now his Hux is modded for tenacity, so there's no point in me starting with F-Lux as everything's gonna get cleansed. So I'm gonna start with this and then ability block him. Okay, and then I can F-Lux in the next move, or that's the idea anyway. I might as well ability block him, I guess, or do that, whatever it is. Okay, great. So I'm glad I was faster on this one, because otherwise it would have probably looked a fair bit different. Let's go for Hux. And now I have to start being very careful here. Why is my... Oh no, I've got buff immunity. That's a big problem. But he's about to take a turn, so that's good. Let's just clear him. Please, ability block. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no. That's not good. Okay, now I got it. I remember this from a while back. It was super messed up. I think in the last season or something, I absolutely got screwed with the ability blocks. Jeez, like, do I even want to F-Lux here? I guess I have to. Oof, that's a close call. Yikes. Well, I'm glad I made it. Right, so I can use Mace. According to the stats, it's perfectly safe, so... Just had a quick look there, because I was actually realizing I might need every character I can get my hands on to still get through the top zone. So let's be smart there. Now in this case, I'd rather pick off Holdo immediately. Poe does have a taunt, but it's only once every so many turns. And I think I'll just immediately start going for Rey, because I need to get her into damage immunity. I can swap to this guy and then just keep the focus on Rey for a bit. That's the savior thing burned. And now I need to get a damage immunity on him, though she's about to ult anyway. If she's going into that, then I might as well reset Cat, I think. There, the timely taunt dispelled. I guess I just keep stacking her offense. Maybe saving the healing immunity would have been nicer, but... Okay, that looks good. He's about to ult as well. Let's put this on her. That's a pretty nice hit right there, Cat. Okay, take that, Rey. Rip. Let's not get another one of those on me, because that would mean a potential loss. But I think I'm good here. 3 minutes to deal with this guy. So it's gonna be 51, which is also what the stats showed on average. So a couple people managed to keep their mace alive. Okay, I'm gonna prepare a surprise reaction here. It is JMK Cat on the back. And it's not there. Okay, what the hell? Dude, how on earth? What did you do? There's no way. I mean, he got me to drop banners. That's maybe the end goal. How? Just please. Well, I guess that's right. Like, he must have just one-hit Royal Guard or something with Cat and then... Nah, there's no way. He can't have used it on this team. Whereas game crashed? I hope not for him. Come on, that would be ridiculous. I mean, he wouldn't have cleared. Let's make that part clear here. Because I still had another Galactic Legend in the back. GL Nute. But I hope not for him. Let's see what the stats say. So, let me just go struggle through some more of his teams then. Let's just see. I guess you start by stunning Nute for 2 turns so that they never really get the extortion out. That would make sense to me, but instead of doing that, I feel like it would also make sense to push back the turn meter. Only risk being I might not actually get it, but I still think I'm faster than him, so let's do it. I can just do an AoE here, feed even more turn meter, then just stun this guy, and I keep countering that one. And I guess I just want to AoE here every time to get B1 down. Pass a turn to him. Get some tenacity down over there. Stun him before the rocket. And now, like, look at this. It's just easy. You have to make sure that you keep hitting the debuff so that he keeps taunting. And I can actually already start going for Django as well. So maybe I'll just do that, but I mean, I can just keep stun locking them, so why really bother, I guess. Another AoE. This team is amazing. I am really happy with this. So I've been thinking, like, what do I want to use to take this out, but this is just a super easy counter. And I run that team myself, so it's like, you know, don't really want people to use this against me. I mean, I've got the stun here and I don't need it, so. But here I drop the taunt by being busy talking. That's not so great, and if I AoE I might lose that stun there. And then get hammered. So it's just basic. Restun you. Push back the TM so that he still does not go. And there comes the first extortion. But I just keep targeting B1 anyway. Let's pass it to Kylo. And here I also drop the taunt, but Django is still stunned, so like, it's not a big deal. Just gotta kill Nute one more time, and he's gone. Stun you. Kill this guy. Pass it to Kylo for another kill. Yeah, I figured he was gonna get a attack in still. And he doesn't have a special to heal up. Do this. Stun him. And now he should be full. So it's gonna be a 51. It could have been a 52 there if I would have timed the kill on Django a little bit better. But wow, great team. Really nice. Usually people spend a lot more expensive stuff on this. And a lot of those teams fail as well. I mean, like Han and Chewie or something has a pretty good failure rate. Pretty high failure rate, I guess. It's not really good. And a bunch of the other teams do too. JKR is not certain. Geos are not that great. Bounty Hunters fail a lot. But this, I mean, yes, it's a Gear 12 Nute, but you just have full control. Feet. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for my favorite match in the whole game. I really love this one. Okay, well, they didn't go for Hyena, that's something. And TFP even survived, so impressive. I'd rather just let them target TFP here and get rid of him for the capital ship turn meter, because he's definitely not surviving until the end. Just do a basic here because they're gonna cleanse whatever buzz droids I put down anyway. Just thinking if that's what I want. Might as well hit him. Okay, here we go. Big surprise. So in all of my tests over the past weeks, I think like I mark Xanadu Blood in maybe 20% of the cases at best. That's not complaining because I can't win or anything. Those are actually the stats. Nice couple dodges in there. So let's see if I can take out one ship. That's the goal. Just basic him. I mean, it might as well target him so that the other hits come in there. Capital ship, don't let me down. Okay, nice crits. So Razor Crest should be going down here in a moment. Although, it's gotta go with a Hyena basic. The hell, mate. Is there any point at all in bringing in Ebon Hawk? I think there is. Because that taunt will get dispelled. Which will allow me to get a double basic chance at killing my one ship. There we go. And no taunt right now actually, so I even get a chance to take out another ship. Would you look at that? This has not happened in any of my testing, so I'm already ecstatic, as you can imagine. And it's not that I'm totally incompetent, it's just that, I don't know. Stuff doesn't work. It just doesn't. I would like it to, but it's just insanely unreliable, this whole thing. So my capital ship is behind, and I'm pretty sure his... Nope, his ultimate's not ready. Okay. Well, I mean, I've got no vultures here to help me out. There's gonna be one that comes in here. And the taunt is still there, so it's kinda... Yeah, what are we gonna do here? Drop some buzz droids, give turn meter to Houndstooth. And then maybe with... I mean, yeah, a stun. Because, like, Soldier with Sunfax damage isn't gonna do much. So let's just try this. Do a basic here. I don't think it's gonna matter either way, but... Let's just try. Better to target Houndstooth here, I think, because maybe... with the next fleet that comes in, I can still pick him off. Or right now, for all I care. No, no, no. Okay, but then make it quick, like don't make him last here. So that they can get him healed up. Okay, that's a perfect possible ending with a group attack there. That's something at least. Glad I didn't stall it prematurely there. Okay, I will just negotiator this one then. That should be pretty safe. So that's not my concern at the moment. That is, however... Jeez. He's not under stealth, so I could actually instantly lose him here. Dang, like, instantly healed up Bosk there by a gigantic amount. Hopefully the group attack from Negotiator is able to pick off Boba or this basic here. Nice. Anakin is in really bad shape though. Glad to get Plo on the field. I'm just gonna basic for now. You don't really want to try to buff immunity until Bosk has taunt. Unless you have no other choice. And now I need him to overtake my Anakin so that I can now do the buff immunity. Oh, this is actually great because they could have cleansed the debuffs here. And I will do it just purely for the damage on the other ships. Dang, I thought Gauntlet had a target lock there. Should have gone for him instantly, but it's okay. All good. Dispel these, see if anyone else can still pick off the Gauntlet. Yep, plenty of ships, okay. Wow, what a monster hit. I don't think my Ahsoka's ever hit that hard. 45, not even bad for a cleanup considering that a one-shot with Malevolence often gets you 54. So no complaints from me there. And then I'll just use my Rebels here. Which turned out to be a pretty good move for a 65. So full cleared him. Again, I have no clue what he did with JMK Cat. Pretty bad score on my end. But yeah, it's a win. Can't really complain too much there. That JML though, that was really a pity. It was only Relic 7, so I figured initially, oh, maybe it's the damage, because it's a Relic 8 or something. He did have pretty good protection modding, but I was just a tad bit short. I think a little more speed on JKR, then the fight would have looked maybe a tad bit different, as I could have swapped. But I think they would have gone down anyway. They really seem to like Jolie. So that's that. Also just unlocked Maul. Still gotta relic him up and mod him. And take a look at those other abilities. I didn't really bother much. I just contributed to the chat spam in the guild. Yeah, I'll see where I take him. But that was the first week of Grand Arena for me. I don't have the ultimate on Lord Vader yet. I think I'm about halfway at the moment. That is not where you check that. That is over here. So 6 out of 12, it's gonna be quite a few more weeks. But hey, I'll get him this season still. And I got my Rogue One feed done, so that's it. Hope you had a good week too, and I'll see you for the next one.